I like working with the underdog. I like taking on any business that relies on local brand reputation and their story to attract customers. If their passion and expertise are their biggest assets, we help them broadcast that to the entire upstate.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Exact Digital Podcast. Today, we have Steve Davis joining us, founder of Patmos Marketing, and he's creating something truly special for local businesses in South Carolina. It's a media hub built to spotlight everything happening in and around the upstate region called Around the Upstate. So if you're a small business looking to grow your local presence, keep listening. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Vanessa. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So let's kick things off with understanding the core of what you've built. What exactly is Around the Upstate and what makes it unique compared to other local platforms out there?
Yeah, so Around the Upstate is designed to be the home for the stories behind the businesses and people that make up the upstate. And, everybody's talking about AI-powered, keyword-rich, text-based blogs and articles, but I think what makes us different is we lead with conversation. We believe hearing the passion in a founder's voice creates a much deeper connection. It just can't be replaced with AI. We're also powered by my digital marketing agency, which is Patmos Marketing. So we're not just journalists that are doing this media hub. We're digital strategists by trade. So every piece of content we create is designed with a dual purpose. It's going to be a great story for the listener, but it's also a powerful marketing asset for the business that we're featuring.
I love that approach. How did the idea for Around the Upstate come about, and what inspired you to launch it?
It's been a while in the making, actually. After I got out of business school, Clemson, which is here in the upstate, I moved to Atlanta and became a software sales guy. So I've been working in the Silicon Valley world for almost 30 years. I'm dating myself, but I moved back here to the upstate about a year ago to be near. Both my wife and I are from here. Our folks are here. And, during the time we were building and thinking about this, I had this idea that I wanted to really help local businesses here. And I started Patmos Marketing. So I helped a lot of big brands, some of the world's biggest brands when I was in the software world. I mean, from Marriott and Coca-Cola and Home Depot and Walmart and Capital One, all those kinds of companies. And I wanted to just transfer that in and be able to help these local businesses. So our mission statement is that we leverage cutting edge technology to help local businesses thrive in a digital world. And so that's where my passion lies, because I constantly meet these incredible entrepreneurs, whether they're in like a networking group or the chamber. I'm part of the local chamber here as a mentor for marketing for startups and small businesses that are coming out looking to get, their business plan put together, and maybe a small business loan, and putting marketing plans together for them. And then I also work with a lot of established businesses that are around here. And these guys are like masters of their craft. They're talented, like builders and carpenters and craftsmen. And frankly, to me, these guys are artists, but they often struggle to get their story out there. They're experts in their field, but not necessarily in digital marketing. They just don't have time, to figure it out. And now that AI is here, and I've been selling AI since the very beginning, and I've kind of watched it grow, and I knew this was coming, but it's happening even faster than any of us thought it was going to happen. But it just means that they're getting left behind. And to me, they need somebody who can stand in the gap for them. And that's what we're here to do. So I guess when I started getting into local marketing, I realized that the traditional agency model of just pitching the same mostly on-site services, like on your website and, on your Google business profile itself, it just felt incomplete and commoditized. So anybody who's looking for a digital marketing agency, I'm just going to warn you too, if you click on one on Facebook, you're going to see about 30 more of them. Some of the people listening here have probably done that before, and they know what I'm talking about. But at one point, it just really hit me, because I realized, okay, I've just seen 30 pitches, and all 30 of them are claiming they can get you on the 3 map of Google. Well, by definition, 27 of them are lying. So I definitely didn't want to sound like those guys. And what I began to realize is that, there's a lot of new techniques available that I wanted to be a part of. And I think what it addresses is that The biggest hurdle for most of these businesses that I talk to is getting their story heard. So I thought, what if we gave them a megaphone to tell their story and broadcast it all over the internet and into the local marketplace with authority? And that word authority is a key word and a key part of this whole thing and a foundational component of what we're trying to build for these businesses. The inspiration, I guess, was I just wanted to flip the script, and instead of leading with a sales pitch, I want to lead by giving them something. And what we give them is a platform. So we serve first and then we help them grow.
I love that. It's more than just marketing. It's building who you are, building the brand. It just covers it all. But for those business owners who are listening, what types of businesses, services, or industries do you think will see the most success using this platform, using Around the Upstate?
Yeah, I guess our sweet spot is that passionate local business owner who is an expert in what they do, but stretched too thin to become a marketing expert too. Think growth ready, but resource strapped. So I've worked with a lot of home services companies coming out of the gate, and I'll give you some examples. Like there's an HVAC guy that I work with who's got an amazing track record, but his kids are grown and he wants to get out of the field. His back's tired, his knees are banged up, and he wants to hire a team of technicians to get out there and actually do the work for him. And so he can stand behind the business and just run it basically like a CEO. Well, he's going to need a lot more projects to work on in order to support four. It's like 4 times plus himself. So it's really 5 times if he wants to hire 4 technicians. Those kinds of businesses and business owners that are in that situation are perfect for us. I like working with the underdog. I like taking on a realtor that's up against people that have been doing it 20 years longer than he has. Like a handyman that I worked with that he really liked working on fencing projects. Of all the things that he was doing, when you talk to him, sure, he'll go hang a ceiling fan for you or whatever, but you can't travel for that. It's not gonna make sense. So if you're going to spend marketing dollars, do it on the higher ticket items and do it on stuff that you like doing. And so we found a way to tailor his marketing so that he started picking up a lot of fencing projects. And it's basically all he's doing now is fencing projects. So love that. If their passion and expertise are their biggest assets, we help them broadcast that to the entire upstate.
That's one thing is business owners, they wear multiple hats, a lot of
Right.
different hats. You know this. So let's get to the value and the benefits of, what are some of the biggest benefits for businesses that choose to be a part of Around the Upstate?
Yeah, this is really at the heart of why we're doing this and why it's so different. The first benefit would be authentic authority, and there's that word again, authority, domain authority. If your site has authority, that means it's going to have traffic, and it means people are going to come to it. So the first thing I'd say is that with our podcast, you get to tell your story in your own voice. So this is not an ad. It's a conversation. Instantly positions you as a credible authority in your field. It builds trust in a way that no advertisement can. The second one is that we're creating a permanent marketing asset. So this isn't a one and done special media post. Your podcast episode is a permanent digital asset. It's what we call evergreen. We can make so many assets out of it too as exact digital. You guys know this. Shorts, reels, articles from the transcripts, blogs. It improves your local SEO. You can use it on your website, send it to potential customers. You can feature it even in your email signature. It works for you 24/7 around the clock. And then the biggest one I like to talk about probably is this, what we call the as seen on effect, right? When you say as seen on Around the Upstate, as seen in USA Today, as seen on Business Insider, these are credible places. And so there's a phenomenon in the digital world these days called banner blindness. And this is not exactly what that refers to, but we're kind of translating that in a new way because it describes the way we all tend to screen out ads. So whether they're in a search engine results page or on TV, at the end of the day, it's businesses talking about themselves on a property that they own. It just becomes like white noise. Being featured on a professional third-party platform provides immense social proof. it's the modern day version of being featured in the newspaper, and it gives customers the confidence to choose you over a competitor. Being first to market, though, with an idea like this is key. And the good news is there's nothing like this in the upstate right now, and we're really capitalizing on that. So the last one I'll tell you is that it's the start of a real offsite marketing strategy. So we do all the on-site stuff. You can't neglect it. It's foundational, but it's also become, frankly, commoditized. I mean, we've lowered our prices for on-site SEO tremendously because a lot of it is now AI powered. A lot of it's automated. We pass that savings on to our customers, and everybody's kind of got the formula. They're doing the same things if they're doing it right. Some people still don't know how to do it. Some people haven't modernized, but there's a lot of folks out there that can tell you, you've got to have a lot of reviews. You got to optimize your business profile. You got to have a lot of keyword rich articles and blogs on your site. You got to have the H1 tags and the H2 tags and the schema optimized and all of those. You got to have a fast response time. If you plug all of those things in, you're going to rank about as much as you can, but it doesn't mean you're going to beat out every site. There's really not a lot of guarantee in that piece of it. So once you secure that, you really have to start reaching out into offsite strategies. And here's kind of what I mean by that. So we call it omnipresence, and we call it, that we're amplifying your story. So we use services like Amplifier, building true omnipresence online. We can get you in publications like Business Insider, USA Today, Yahoo Finance, MSN, in addition to 300 plus other high domain authority sites that are just going to drive traffic back down to your site and to your business. So we also do connected TV streaming services like Hulu now. And that's a great partnership we have with you guys at Exact Digital. But the podcast and the interview, those are really powerful first steps in creating those evergreen assets. So, like a local business might have some marketing strategies and partnerships that are working. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you've got, your SEO working and you've got a Google business profile that looks optimized, where are you going to go now? You've got to continue to grow. This is a perfect next step, and it's very complementary to everything you have going on. Now, if any of those things are broken, we'll step down and fix those as well. So we always do an audit that shows you some things where we think we can help, but absolutely no obligation to do that. And then, when you step into moving into like the syndication options with us, those are only going to amplify those things and make them better.
At the end of the day, you're allowing the business owners be an expert in their industry, what they're doing.
Right.
So then you can be an expert on everything marketing and be that helping hand throughout them. This is Around the Upstate is just such a great innovative platform already. Back to what you said, everyone can do this and have this tactic and bring you to the top of the search results. But not everyone's thinking outside of the box when it comes to this type of platform that's so unique.
Yeah, we would agree.
Awesome. Well, looking ahead, where do you see, I know you kind of said before, as seen in USA Today, as seen as Around the Upstate, where do you see Around the Upstate heading into the future?
Well, we want Around the Upstate to be the kind of thing where you say, hey, you got to get on Around the Upstate. Man, this guy, this is a great program. This has generated all kinds of traffic for my business. And we want to give you a megaphone. We want the world to hear your story. Certainly want the Upstate to know about your business. And my goal is for Around the Upstate to be the best way to do that in the area. And that's what we're working hard to be able to do.
Awesome. How can our listeners connect with you if they want to learn more and get involved?
Well, if you love the Upstate, the best thing you can do is go to aroundtheupstatepodcast.com. You can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're a business that's interested in being featured and your story resonates with what we've talked about today, head over to the website. It's going to be aroundtheupstatepodcast.com and click on Be a Guest, and we'd love to hear from you. We also may reach out to you, let you know that we have been doing some research in your area and we want to feature your business. Just know that, as we talked about, there is no strings attached to that. We want to feature your business on Around the Upstate. We need good content. We need good sponsors. And hey, if that leads to us being able to have a marketing relationship in the future, that's great. So be looking for that as well.
Amazing, Steve. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey and for building something that truly supports the local business community. To our listeners, if you're in the upstate area or just love hearing about community driven marketing ideas, definitely check out Around the Upstate. And as always, thanks for tuning in to the Exact Digital podcast, and we'll catch you in the next episode.